guys, and thank you for tuning in with me, your girl Zesty and the Zesty Pooh crew. So today I am making some Chinese pork chops. I've never made them before. I've done chicken like this, but they're gonna be Chinese fried pork chops. So we're gonna marinate them, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna fry them. And I'm also gonna make some buttered cabbage, and I'm gonna put some onions and some garlic, and I'm gonna show you how I whip it up. And then I'm gonna make my version of Sweetie Pie's macaroni and cheese. So let's get into this video, y'all. It's so much to do. All right, so what I've done is I cut slits in the pork chops because I don't like my pork chops to fold. A lot of times when you don't cut it, when you fry it, they fold. So to avoid getting them, keeping them from folding, you don't have to worry about it. So I'm gonna season them a little bit. You don't wanna overly season them because the aromatics, the garlic and the ginger, soy sauce and so forth is naturally going to season it, but I like to just add a little bit more. So this is just garlic powder. Then I'm going to put onion powder, and I don't measure mine. I just put it on how I want it, and you can feel free to do the same, because sometimes I'll notice people will say, oh, a half teaspoon. It's like, oh, wait a minute now. I got 6 pork chops. I need a little bit more than that. And then also, I'm going to put a little thyme on it, a little ground thyme. And you also want to go light. Yeah, actually, with the thyme, you don't even have to season both sides if you don't want to. Thyme is more natural. I just like the herby flavor that it gives food, especially fried food. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to whisk an egg until it gets foamy. And you want to make sure it's foaming. And then you're going to pour it right over your pork chops. To that, I have about 3 garlic cloves and probably about a teaspoon of fresh ginger that I grated up earlier. And to this, I'm also going to add 1/4 cup of wine. I don't have the cooking wine because I couldn't find it. So this is the best thing to it. The little oak leaf. I got it from Walmart. So you want to... Actually, I'm going to mix this up before I pour it in. 1/4 cup of wine. Cooking wine. White wine. Any white wine will do. And then 1/4 cup of soy sauce. And this is going to be our marinade. I'm going to marinate it for 3 to 4 hours. I'm going to say 3 hours minimum. So you can marinate it a night before. Perfect. So you want to get all of that goodness in each pork chop. And the good thing about the slits is it allows flavor to run all the way through the pork chop. And also, lastly, I'm going to put a tablespoon of brown sugar. So how I like my marinade, I have to wipe the bag off, is I like it in a bag, and then you want to press as much air out as you can. So that way you'll get all of that goodness in it. And then I'm going to put it in the refrigerator for 3 to 4 hours. Then we're going to come back and we're going to fry these bad boys. To this, I have 8 ounces of Velveeta, and then I have a stick and a half of butter that I cut in these beautiful little chunks. And I do that so that way my macaroni, every bite can be buttery, cheesy, creamy. I want every bite to feel like I have me some cheese. I don't like dry macaroni and cheese. Can't do it. Ain't gonna do it. So you have all these little chunks. And if they start melting a little bit, don't worry. I see some people using melted butter. I don't know. I just like mine chunk. I think I've gotten so in a routine of doing it that it's just like second nature. And so I like to incorporate all of that. And so to this, I'm going to add a whole 8-ounce bag of Colby. I just don't want people thinking that you have to have name brand stuff to make macaroni and cheese taste good. Because I'm telling you, I've been making my macaroni and cheese like this for years. And everybody is always asking me to bring this to the party. Hey, you gonna make your macaroni and cheese for the party? Yes, I am. Because it cost me less than 20 bucks to make it. I love it. And yes, I can buy milk at the grocery outlet. I can get everything. The only thing you cannot, well, I feel like I cannot substitute is Velveeta. I've tried it. I've tried to substitute, but I gotta have the Velveeta. So the Velveeta is like $4 or $5. Everything else, easy breezy. And I'm gonna put about a cup of mild cheddar cheese. Maybe about a little bit over a half cup. You know, they say it's no such thing as too much cheese, but yes, it is. I'm here to tell you, yes, it is. You do not want an overly cheesy hot mess. You just want it nice and gooey and buttery and rich. You want it creamy now. Because like I said, that dry macaroni and cheese that's for the birds. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to season it. I always season it just because I like mine seasoned. And I like a lot of garlic powder. So this is probably about a tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon and a half. And how I measure mine is, I want to be able to smell the garlic powder. I know it sounds weird, but one day I think I accidentally put too much garlic powder, and I like that. So I'm going to put about a teaspoon of black pepper. And I'm also going to do a half teaspoon of ground mustard, half teaspoon. You don't want to go too overboard with this. And I'm also going to put salt. Just because cheese is really, really bland. You don't want to put too much salt. And also, I'm going to put a pinch of sugar. Probably about a half teaspoon of sugar. I know it sounds weird, but it makes it pop. Just a half teaspoon of sugar. Don't go overboard. Don't go crazy. And then I'm going to do paprika for color because I like my macaroni and cheese to be dark. So I'm going to put about probably about a teaspoon and a half. And then, you know, I'm going to top it off whenever I mix it up as well. So there we go. That's our mix, y'all. So we're going to get it panned up. Y'all, I did my noodles al dente, so they're still kind of stiff. You can tell. I just did 1 pound of elbow macaroni, and I probably boiled them for probably about maybe 6 minutes. You can tell that they're still al dente, and that's how you want them. And then what you want to do, you take your mix, all that cheesy goodness. You don't need no more milk. You don't need no more butter. You're just gonna mix it in real good. It looks like a lot of cheese, but I promise you, it's gonna all make sense in the end. You can be like, oh my goodness, this is so bomb. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna take your sharp. This is what I do now. I like my sharp at the top. Feel free to top it with whatever cheese you like. And you want to make sure it's covered. But you don't want to go overboard. Just make sure it's covered to where you can't see the noodles. There you go. And if a noodle's sticking out, just pop it back on in there. And what I'm going to do, because I see a couple of holes in here, I'm just going to top it with a little bit of mild. Just a little bit of mild. I'm just going to do that. Just like so I can have this situated, okay? And this is gonna go in the oven that's been preheating on 350 for about 35 minutes. And also, what I like to do is I like to go back and I like to sprinkle most of the stuff. I don't put any dry mustard at the top. I just do all my little powders, a little pepper, a little salt, because again, the cheese is bland. Make sure you want to go through with salt. You don't need to put sugar at the top either. Want to put your garlic powder. I'm gonna put a little onion powder as well. You out here, Camden? Camden is gonna be on camera, y'all. I'm putting paprika mostly for color. Like I said, I like my stuff dark. I probably top just about everything So Foolish with paprika because I like that color. All right, so we're going in the oven. We're gonna get started on the rest of our meal. So now I have already drained the marinade out of my pork chops. And what you see here is a cup and a half of flour and a half cup of potato starch. If you don't have potato starch, you can use regular starch. And then I put some more seasoning salt and garlic powder in here. Not a lot, just a little bit because the pork chop's gonna be flavored. And I have it on a medium setting. And I set these pork chops out for like 20 minutes before I'm putting them in there. No more than 2. You don't want to crowd this. You want to let this baby cook. So to this, you want to let it probably cook on about 2.5, 3 minutes on each side. And then I'm going to flip them over 2.5, 3 minutes. We're going to take them out and we're going to cook them and then we're going to double fry them. But we're going to get through the process. I just wanted to let y'all know, don't overcook them. I realized the crust is softer because of the marinade. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to fry these straight through, y'all. I'm going to give it probably about 11 minutes total. And like I said, be careful. I'm not going to do a double fry. Not this time. I was thinking about it because that's how I usually do my General Toast chicken and orange chicken. But because it's so soft and these pork chops are kind of big, I don't want to lose that crust. And you see right here, I done lost a little bit, so I ain't trying to lose no more. So I'm going to say 11 minutes total. And we're going to drop it like it's hot. We're going to take this out, and boom. We're going to do the rest of them. Because we double fry, it's going to take forever. So this is my butter that I'm browning. I have about a stick of butter. And I have about 4 cloves of garlic. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the butter get brown. I have about a head and a half of cabbage. And I also have a small yellow onion that I'm going to add to this. So I'm going to wait until it gets a little brown. You can see my cabbage. And this is the onion. Alright, so that butter is brown enough. And you want to make sure you keep it on a medium. So what I usually do is put half of my cabbage in there. And then I put the onions in there. And then I put the rest of the cabbage. And like I take, if it's hard parts, I take them out. But I usually look at that as I cook it. So don't cover it just yet. Let it cook down a little bit. Like this right here, I'm not going to use because look at that. It's too hard. So what you want to do is you want to try to get that cabbage from the bottom to the top. But let it cook down a little bit because cabbage has its own water. So you don't have to worry about it not having enough liquid in it. But what I do is I hit mine with a little chicken stock. Just a little bit. You don't want it to boil. You do not want it to boil. And I'm going to say probably about a tablespoon of chicken stock. Maybe a little bit more than a tablespoon. Tablespoon and a half. That's it. Because I promise you, when it cook down, you're going to thank me later. You're going to have that good butter cabbage. See? And it don't take long to simmer down either. So to this, I'm going to add some seasoning salt. Some nature seasoning, my favorite. About a tablespoon. And I'm going to hit it with some garlic powder. About a tablespoon of that. Remember, that's powder, so can't go wrong. And probably about a teaspoon of onion powder. I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of celery salt. Go easy with the celery salt. Easy, 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 easy. About a teaspoon. Well, I'm gonna say half teaspoon. You don't want to go overboard. And then I love thyme in my cabbage. I do. And go easy with that too. Don't go overboard. And then I'm gonna do paprika. And that paprika is just for color. And I might have to hit it with some more at the end of it. So we'll come back to this cabbage. We're gonna let it cook down. Let's go on over to our pork chops. And it's probably about like 10 minutes into it. I'm gonna give it another 10 minutes and I'm gonna see. And pretty much with cabbage, you just cook to your desired consistency. Some people like theirs real soft, some people like it with a little firmness. And just cook it to your desired consistency. But I'm gonna give mine another 10, maybe 15 more minutes. So we're gonna come back and we're gonna check it. And we're gonna turn it off when it's done. I'm gonna put my lid on there. All right. All right, y'all. So this is how I want my cabbage. It's not too soft and it's not too stiff. We're gonna hit it in the dough with that. And you still got all that butter melted in there. Oh yeah. And all together, I think I probably cooked it about 20 minutes. And that's why I like to take them hard pieces out because those take forever to break down. So our cabbage is done. All right, y'all, that macaroni and cheese just came out the oven. And I probably let it cook about 37 minutes because it just wasn't crisping up. And see? That's what I'm talking about. Now I want y'all to see how, now you're supposed to let it rest. I want y'all to see, even in the drier part, check this out. Bam! And y'all, it stays creamy. I love this recipe. Y'all got to try it. Look at that. Oh yeah, oh yeah. All right. Okay, 11 minutes is up. And they perfect. You might lose a little bit of crust in the beginning, but no fear. And you always want to make sure you get all of the remnants out of there because this will burn. I didn't lose too much crust. I just lost a little piece. So I'm gonna let my oil heat back up a little bit for about another 3 or 4 minutes, and then I'm gonna drop the rest another batch. All right, guys, we cooking. All right, guys, so I have my pork chop. I have my macaroni and cheese. Now look, y'all, this has had a chance to rest for about 20 minutes. And I want y'all to see just how creamy. Don't tell me you can't make macaroni and cheese on a budget, y'all. I'm telling you, when you warm it up the next day, I only did that just to show off a little bit. When you get it the next day, and you warm it up, it's just as good, if not better. So I'm gonna sprinkle some pepper because y'all know how we do. For y'all who don't know, we love pepper around here. Got to have that pepper. All right, so with so much uncertainty out here, I just wanted to fill your life with a little positivity and leave you something special. If you guys like what you see, I love to see more of you. I love for you to see more of me. And wherever you're at in the digisphere, in the outer sphere, wherever you're at, whether it be morning, noon, night, midday, I want to just share some positivity in your life and give you guys something to grow on. And with everything, like I always tell everybody, continue to love out loud. All right, guys, so I'm going to read a positive affirmation. It says, everything I see is either an act of love or a call for love. I bring the darkness to the light and integrate it into the light. I bring love to the situation that tempts me to follow fear. Dropping drama and picking up love, I make peace my reality. Love is my ultimate intention. And so I choose to be a loving person who lives a loving world. And this affirmation comes from healingbrave.com. And y'all continue to love out loud. I love each and every one of you. I can't wait till the next time we meet again. Until next time, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Cam, is it good?
It's good.
Say mwah. Give me a kiss. You like it? Say thank you, Mommy.
This is mine.
Say I love you, Mommy.
One.
You like it? I think Camden approves of the macaroni. No, I'm not going to get you. I'm just getting the macaroni.
No.
All right. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Say see you later. Give me a kiss.
No.
Aww.